What do you think, Quincy? You gonna take the Colts in 7?
Oh, don't do it, Doc. Miami scored 28 points last week.
And the week before, 31 points.
So they scored 59 points in the past 2 weeks. Who did they play?
Well, ask Brill. He bet against them both times.
And both times they were playing the doormats of the Eastern Conference.
You call the Giants doormats?
What else?
What are you gonna do, Quincy?
Hey, don't worry about Quincy. As a gambler, he was a great corner. Every team he bets on is a stiff.
Don't laugh. He's right. That's why I quit gambling.
You quit gambling.
Only on short things.
Yeah, like the Cowboys.
Or New England in 7.
Or Denver and give the points, right, Quince?
I don't think you guys heard me right. I'm only going to bet on a lead pipe cinch and... Here it is.
Are you going to give us a hint? Is it NFL or AFL?
No, it's the PSP.
Oh, the PSP. And what is the PSP?
The Payroll Savings Plan, Johnny.
Oh, you mean U.S. savings bonds?
That's the safest way to save there is.
Listen, if I come out on next Sunday's Dallas Colts game, I won't have to save.
Here we go again. How'd you do last week? How did you do the week before that?
Weeks. Ask him how he's been doing for the last 4 years.
No, my way is a lead pipe cinch. You win every month and you know what the outcome is.
He's telling it to you like it is. And take it from a guy who once played ball with the Waukegan Maple Leafs.
What position?
Guard. Tell him, right?
I gave up gambling and lying. No.
Thank you, George Washington.
Let me ask you something, Doc. Maybe it's a good thing for some people to save that way, but why should I save?
You of all people, you've been promising yourself a new camera for 2 years.
Yeah.
Why haven't you got it? Gambling, right? And you, when is your kid enrolled in college?
About 5 years.
5. Where are you going to get the money for his education?
He's right.
And you've been promising yourself a trip. You want to see where your father was born? Football season comes, you're broke.
Yeah, but Quince, bonds. Bonds take a long time to mature.
Is that right? That trip to Ensenada with your kid, you went fishing?
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
5 years.
Seems like yesterday, don't it?
Yeah.
Same with the Series E bonds. They mature in 5 years with 6% interest. If you're not ready to use the money when the bonds mature, you can hold on to them for another 10 years if you want to. Then continue to draw interest each year.
Yeah, but there's no tax when you bet on football.
Of course not. You don't get taxed on what you lose. I gotta go, huh? Listen, I'll make sure that all my employees get wind of this, okay? Take it easy.
And you don't have to pay tax on your savings bonds for your son's education.
Yeah, well, how's that work?
Well, it's right here. All you have to do is file a tax return in your boy's name showing the interest as income. And as long as his yearly income doesn't exceed the amount allowed for his personal exemption, there is no tax due when he cashes the bonds.
It means nothing to me. My kids are grown. In 10 years, I'll be retiring.
That doesn't let you out, Ed. You should use the payroll savings plan for retirement. You could also get a special tax advantage when you buy bonds to build up your retirement income.
Yeah? How?
There are 2 ways. You can buy Series E bonds now at a rate fitted to your income. Then when you retire, you cash the bonds as you need them and you report only the interest.
But then I'll be paying the tax.
Ah, yeah, but your retirement income is generally lower, right? So your taxes are usually reduced, or sometimes even eliminated altogether. And listen, if you want to defer taxes even further, you can exchange your E-bonds for H-bonds.
Oh, what's the difference?
H-bonds pay interest semi-annually by Treasury check, so you can apply the interest you make on the E-bonds toward the purchase of the H-bonds. And you can keep deferring tax on the E-bond interest until the H-bond is cashed or reaches final maturity.
You mean all that E-bond interest still continues to earn me money when I buy H-bonds?
It's hard to believe, huh?
Well, now tell me something. Well, how does that work in money terms?
Okay, suppose you buy a $100 E-bond each month for, say, 15 years.
That's a lot of money to lay out every month.
It's not as much as you think. I'm only talking about $75. Now, if you buy a $100 bond each month for 15 years, you wind up with, you want to talk about big money? You wind up with over $21,000.
Wow.
You bet wow. Not only that, by adding just a few bucks, you can exchange the E-bond for $21,500 in H-bonds. Now, you've made almost $8,000 in interest on the E-bonds. And remember, the tax on this interest is deferred when you exchange the E-bonds for the H-bonds.
Well, now, how much does that work out a month?
You're not going to believe this, Johnny. Over the next 10 years, your average monthly income would be $109 compared to the original monthly investment of $75.
And the $21,500 principal is left intact.
Now you got it. Of course, you do pay tax on the accumulated E-bond interest when the H-bonds reach final maturity or are redeemed. But that's at a lower rate.
But what if you can't afford to save?
If you want to take that trip, you can't afford not to save.
You got a point.
Look, when you join the payroll savings plan, you can start out with a minimum amount and increase it as you go along.
But I've already got a lot of deductions.
Will you stop thinking of it as a deduction? It's your money. It's always there when you need it. Meanwhile, it's gathering interest. Besides, you show me a better way to save, one that's automatic, that guarantees a 6% rate to maturity, and that has as many tax advantages.
Yeah, speaking of taxes, what about the state and local taxes?
Savings bonds are exempt from state and local income or personal property taxes.
How are you going to lose?
You can. That's what I'm trying to tell you. With a bet that's backed up by the United States itself. Another thing, if the bonds are lost or stolen or destroyed, they're replaced free.
What if I buy one and then I change my mind?
I don't know why you would want to do that. Anyway, you can cash an E-bond 2 months after the issue date.
Well, I'm sold. Where do I sign up?
Well, forget Baltimore. I'm taking the sure thing.
Yeah, me too. Hey, and thanks for the tip.
Yeah.
Thanks, Quincy.
What a friend's for.
Thanks a lot.
You know, each week, Quincy fights for something he believes in. And in this case, as Jack Klugman, I couldn't agree with him more. Bond dollars bolster our country's economic strength, while they grow to put our own personal saving goals within reach. Contact each fellow worker and explain to him or her the advantages of joining the Payroll Savings Plan. Give him or her this authorization card and ask for action. The time it takes to write their name is the time it takes to become a steady saver. And who knows, I may save enough money to get Oscar's room cleaned. Thank you. All right, fellas, your bookie's numbers in the ashtray. Come on, let's go, let's go. No more. All the money goes where it belongs. Put it in, put it in.